Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Startup Chippewa Valley. My name is Ray. I'm part of the team helping organize this year's event. I am delighted to introduce today Luke Hansen, who leads the Eau Claire Area Economic Development Center, and he's going to kick us off with some comments about him, his organization, and why he's excited about this week's event.
Good morning, all. Welcome to Startup Chippewa Valley Week. My name is Luke Hansen. I am the Executive Director of the Eau Claire Area Economic Development Corporation. Thank you for joining us. And I just want to kick it off. The Eau Claire Area EDC is a organization that really helps with entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship through, they can come to us with as simple as an idea on a napkin, and we can help bring it to fruition. So we've been in the startup area for decades, at least 25 years. As long as I've been at the Eau Claire Area Economic Development Corporation, we have a few programs that we host and run, such as the Idea Challenge every year. We also host Startup 48 Weekend, which is a long pitch weekend where they come to develop their ideas. They pitch it on Friday, form their teams, and then have their final pitches on Sunday. So it is a pretty intense weekend, but it is something that we just got done hosting probably 3 weeks ago. So overall, it's an excellent event, but we like to support our local entrepreneurs in any way possible, and we're here for all the festivities here that are happening this week, and we look forward to what is to come. So I'll introduce Charlie Walker from CCEDC next.
Thank you, Luke. It's been awesome working with you as a collaborator. My name is Charlie Walker, President and CEO of the Chippewa Economic Development Corporation. Like Luke said, we understand the importance of the ecosystem in Chippewa Valley. We are glad to answer the phone. It's all good. This is the neat thing about being live and talking about economic development, the ecosystem. We couldn't do what we do without our partners. So Startup Chippewa Valley is just a great way for all of our partners to come together and help founders and ideas grow. One of the things that we're excited about is for 9 years we've been doing a hatch pitch, a Shark Tank-like pitch, just to continue to celebrate failures, because we know the more you fail, the better you get up and you're better, and then the entrepreneurs understand that. They grow by failure. So we've been celebrating the failures, give some cash so that these entrepreneurs can use that to conquer their next journey where they need to go on their next phase of raising capital or even launching their idea further. With the Chippewa Economic Development Corporation, one of the things that we really do like about the ecosystem in entrepreneurship is this partnership that we have that's really celebrated with Startup Week. From the Chippewa Angel Group to the Eau Claire Chamber, the Chippewa Chamber, to SPDC, all of us work together, and we look forward to the week, the pitch. We've got some great keynote speakers coming down the week. It's just a great week to celebrate entrepreneurship. And as you come and participate, you're going to find out all the resources as a team that can help you launch your idea and get your business going and celebrate entrepreneurship. Remember, it is Veterans Day. So this year, tomorrow, our hatch is at Veterans Day because there are 2 million vet entrepreneurs in the United States. And we thought that being Startup Week landing in Veterans Day week would be a great time to reach out to those veterans and really support them as well and celebrate the entrepreneur impact that they have. If you have any questions, contact Startup Week. We'll be look at the website. We look forward to seeing you at everything. And I'm going to introduce a key player in the Chippewa Valley that really helps us keep the Startup Week going and working with the organization and just doing great work. Harley from the Small Business Development Center.
Hello, my name is Harley Judes. I'm the Center Director for the Small Business Development Center. So our office, so what we do is we provide no-cost consulting to small businesses who are looking to start, grow, and thrive. So that's everything from the startup businesses to the existing businesses. Probably about half and half is what's served through our office. As I said, all of our services are at no cost and they're confidential. And so this is where we can come in and assist confidentially with providing assistance in a few different areas. So one with the startup questions. So how do I start my own business? What how do I do an LLC, sole proprietor? How do I make sure that I'm legit? And so that's a question that we can answer for you. We can also talk about the marketing side. How do you get your business up and running? What are things that you could consider? As we work with about 700 businesses a year, this is an area where we can start giving you guidance on what we're seeing as successful or not necessarily working as well for some businesses. Then the area where we spend the majority of our time is on the access to capital. And so one of the biggest needs that startups have, as well as existing businesses, is that access to capital to either start their business, buy a business, or grow their business. And so that's where our team of financial consultants can assist you with developing financial projections so that you can seek funding through a lender or seek funding through a grant. And so that's a big piece of what we do. As I mentioned, about 700 businesses that we serve a year, and we're really eager to assist you. So next up, and what I'll say too is we're really excited about Startup Chippewa Valley. I know a couple weeks ago we had Startup 48 that was in the area, and then we have a lot of those people who won or in the finalists in that week joining with Hatch as well. And so we're really eager to see how this goes and learn a lot more from the resources available in this week. So next up will be Scott from the Chamber.
Well, thanks, Harley, and I appreciate being here. My name is Scott Rogers. I am the Director of Governmental Affairs at the Eau Claire Area Chamber of Commerce, and appreciate the opportunity to be here and excited about what's happening with Startup Chippewa Valley. So if you were to get an email from me, you'd see at my signature line, Together for Business and Together for the Community, and that's the motto that we have at the Chamber. And the Startup Chippewa Valley's mission, I see, is to educate, celebrate, and connect small businesses and entrepreneurs. And the Chamber really does that across the entire business community. So effectively, we're an association of businesses and organizations that come together to do things across the entire business community to advocate for a strong economy. We're actually 110 years old, and one of the things we like to mention is the 10 years old. And the Chamber started out advocating for bringing the state hadn't been fulfilling its promises. So we chartered a rail car, went to Madison, and a year later, what was then called the Normal School was established. So we really have four things we do at the Chamber that we concentrate on. Their advocacy, education, workforce, and investor engagement. And the Chamber really does a couple things for the business community, including any of you that are involved in business. There's ways to get involved in the Chamber, to make connections, to work with other people, to network, and then the Chamber does things on behalf of the business community as well. So that's some of the things I get involved in government affairs, because what happens in government affects all of the business community and our economy, and we try to work on behalf of the community. We have all sizes of organizations that belong to the Chamber, everything from sole proprietor organizations and entrepreneurs to large organizations with thousands of employees. And we also have close relationships with the Chippewa Falls and Menominee Chambers across the Chippewa Valley, and we even do a joint legislative day in Madison we call the Chippewa Valley Rally. So I wanted to mention a couple things that entrepreneurs may be really interested in that we have going on right now. One is we're going to be announcing very, very soon an entirely new local e-bucks program. In other words, over the years, we sell hundreds of thousands of dollars and will Chamber buy local bucks. And right now they're a paper buck. And starting December 1st, that's going to be completely electronic. And we're working with Visit Eau Claire to get that out into the community. So if you are involved in a retail business, that's something I think you'll be interested in. And then something we started in September was something we call a courtesy level investor program. And this is especially appropriate for startups, because if you have 5 or fewer employees, you can become part of the Chamber at no cost. So if you're interested in that and becoming part of the courtesy program, we have actually had over 100 organizations join under that program since we launched it in September. So just go to our website, or any of you that are here in the room, I actually have some cards that you can look at. So we're excited to see what's happening with Startup Chippewa Valley this week. I'm planning to come back for the closing keynotes because I think that's going to be really valuable, but it looks like you have some great sessions coming up the rest of the week. So It's my pleasure now to bring up Pete Marsnick. Marsnick is with the Angel Investors Network, and I'm looking forward to what he has to say too. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you, Scott. Angel Investor Networks and also Muskie Tank. Before I start, Charlie said that tomorrow's Veterans Day. And so to all the veterans here watching, wherever you are, thank you for my freedom. I'm going to start now with a little story. Today is the 50th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald that you may know about from the song. I grew up north of Duluth, about 100 miles, and I was a sophomore in high school at that time. And we all got a notice on our cell phones that the Fitz was in trouble. One laugh. No, we did not. We did not have cell phones. We did. We had a radio station. We had 3 TV stations, and we got our news. We didn't even get that news until several days later. But I'm telling the story partly because I love the Edmund Fitzgerald. She was a rock star at the time. She was the biggest girl on the lakes, and we would love going to Duluth and watch her. And I still love going to Duluth and going to the Sioux Locks just to watch the big ships and the small ones. But that's just kind of a fun thing. What I wanted to talk about, though, is more of what has happened and what the state-of-the-art technology was, at the time, 50, 60 years ago, even 20 years ago, and say this is part of what this ecosystem is. That the startup type things happen to create that next generation of jobs, the next generation of wealth, the next generation of just cool things to have and good things to have and solutions to problems. So that's part of what we're about. And I'm really excited for this week. Muskie Tank Mixer has been we've been in Startup Week, and thanks for the wonderful support for what we do. We're on Wednesday night this year at the Brewing Project. We start at 6:30. We'll be kind of after the Women's Business Conference. And we have 2 great guests. One is Danielle Goss. She's the founder of Cool Mocks, the non-alcoholic mocktail in River Falls. And Anthony Need is the founder of Flaw and Seed, and he came through Venture Home. And both are successful entrepreneurs. You need to hear their stories. One of them took outside investment. One of them did pure bootstrapping. So we want to contrast that for you as entrepreneurs when you move forward. I'm also, Hatch is a great event to go to. If you get a chance to see Caitlin Taylor and Good Ass Hair Day, that is a great story. You don't want to miss that. I'm going to have to miss the keynote, and I'm going to miss Sarah because I'm traveling out to South Carolina to visit family. But I'm going to end with another story. Before I do that, our sponsors for the Muskie Tank Mixer are WEDC, and also this year we have Morris Berry Insurance. That's the event sponsor for this week. Last week I was in Madison for the early stage symposium, and the Wisconsin Tech Council was talking about what their goals are and what they want to create. And one of the things they want to create is good talent. And so I did stand up and I said that 29 years ago, I moved to Eau Claire with an expanding tech company out of Minnesota. And we chose the Chippewa Valley because of the talent. There were a lot of other reasons that people say, but it was really, there were engineers, there were people who understood supply chain, knew how to put in an ultra-pure water system. They knew how to build a clean room. And that happened because of Seymour Cray. And then all the things that spun off from Cray research over the years created that ecosystem. And we have a really strong startup vibe right now in the Chippewa Valley. But at Muskie Tank, and similar to earlier, we were talking about, when we started, we said we were a startup that helps startup start up. But our real tagline was start up, grow, profit. And now, our first decade, we were focusing on startups. Now we're focusing on grow. So you grow and you create a better environment for more startups, and you also become that next, Jamp. We have a unicorn in our city here that was created right here in River City. And that is, I also said there is a strong gravitational pull from the west in the Twin Cities. But over the last few years, we have been creating a pull here from the Twin Cities that is desirable to be, and that's part of what you are all helping to create. And it's okay if we pull from the south up here too. So we'll be working on that. Thanks for letting me speak, and thanks for covering our event, and we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday night. Next up is Katrina Wu. Did I get it right?
Hi everyone, welcome to Startup Chippewa Valley. My name is Katrina. I am the Community Development Manager here at the Coven. One of the things I wanted to talk about the Coven is obviously we're a co-working space, but more than that, we are a community of people. And the cool thing about being a founder is that you have an incredible idea, you have an incredible mission, and it's just yours. But here at the Coven, you get to sit next to other founders with incredible visions and the desire to make impact in our communities. And with an incredible agenda lined up for Startup Chippewa Valley, there's so much information on how to be successful at that. And one thing that you can't necessarily teach is community. So the thing about the Coven is that when you walk in, you find your desk, but you sit next to people who feel like your coworkers. And the cool thing is that you get to check in on the exciting things that they're doing. You get to ask for feedback on projects that you're working on. And bigger than that, you get to collaborate together. A couple exciting things that the Coven does and participates in is that with one membership, we provide 5 sponsorships. So that's 5 people who are looking to grow their business, looking to pursue their creative pursuits. We have conference rooms, obviously like this beautiful space where a lot of different things happen in here. It could be workshops, it could be events, including things like team workshops to help with facilitating trainings. A couple of exciting events that are happening here is later on we have Social Media 101, which is going to happen in this space here. We have your small business digital presence happening later today and several other events happening in this space. Another exciting thing is that we're offering a free week here at the Coven for those of you who are attending Startup Chippewa Valley. All you have to do is let us know that you're an attendee and we'll set up the rest for you. Thank you. And I'd love to, is Jacob here?
No.
Okay. Okay. Over to Ray.
Thank you. So I didn't know this. Perfect. Thank you all so much for sharing about yourselves, your organizations, and what you're excited about for Startup Chippewa Valley Week. Jacob Miller is from Startup Wisconsin. Raise your hand if you know what Startup Wisconsin is in this context. Okay. About half the room. That's awesome. So this is news to some people in the Chippewa Valley because over the years, before my time even, we've done such a great job of really harnessing the local pride and making this about Startup Chippewa Valley. But Startup Chippewa Valley is actually part of an umbrella brand called Startup Wisconsin. They're organized by a group out of Green Bay called Headway. Jacob and Andrew are the 2 main organizers there, and they do just a phenomenal job. This year, they launched a video podcast, which is really great, and they're doing a lot of other things throughout the year as well. So I'm really proud to be a part of the group that's making Startup Chippewa Valley possible, but I definitely want to give a shout out to the guys at Startup Wisconsin and the different communities that are doing activities in their regions and their cities as well. So just to conclude, I've got a couple quick comments that I'll make. Again, thank you all so much for being here and talking about your organizations. So the first thing, I want to reiterate our gratitude to the Eau Claire Area Economic Development Center. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Emily. You serve as our fiscal agents making this event series possible, and that's So incredible, so important, and we're so grateful for that because it benefits the community so much. I also want to thank all of the speakers here today functioning as community advisors. So everyone from Harley at the Small Business Development Center, Pete at your various organizations, Muskie Tank and Chippewa Valley Angel Investors, Charlie at the Chippewa Economic Development Corporation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would like to thank our sponsors. So first and foremost, our flagship sponsor, Royal Credit Union. We're really grateful to them for their legacy support of this program. Thank you to the Coven, to the Pablo Center, to the Brewing Project, to the district, many spaces across town providing in-kind sponsors, whether that's through venue or food. And thank you all of you for participating in this event, making it what it is. I'm really excited to kick off this week and see the really incredible programming that many smart, hardworking people have put together for the community. And that's it. Thank you so much. All right.